It hurts so bad when people betray us, when they play with our heart, when they do things that hurt us. Sometimes we never get a chance for those people to come and apologize because those people may not even think they did something wrong. And so what happens? We stay in bitterness and we hope secretly and sometimes outwardly that something happens to those people to create the balance, that karma takes its course. We hope something bad will happen to them. And maybe you're not that person. I have been that person. When I would hear the person's name or the people's name, it would bother me. If I hear something good that was going on in their lives, it would bother me. I wanted to hear something terrible happening to them at that specific time of my life. I'm talking about forgiveness. Today we're going to talk about forgiveness. So if this is your first time here, know that on this channel I talk about all things self-development, self-love, finding yourself, going inside and taking the journey so that you can love yourself unconditionally, because in return you can love others too. If this is your first time here, if you are enjoying this video thus far, if you're already captivated, go ahead and subscribe, and that way you will get notification for new videos. Otherwise, I see you on the next slide. Hi there, Rose here, the Happiness Warrior. Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about forgiveness. What is forgiveness? Forgiveness is the thought of letting go of resentment, pain, and anger, the thought of revenge. Forgiveness ultimately is the gift that you give unto yourself. I know how difficult it is to forgive the people who have hurt us, but remember, the more time you spend in the prison of your mind, marinating the things that have been done to you in the past, the people who have hurt you are enjoying their lives. And that's one thing I learned. While I was waiting for karma to take its course and maybe give these people something they deserve, they were living life. Maybe they were happy, maybe they weren't happy. But what I will hear the good news. I don't actually know what's going on in their lives. But the truth is, in my specific case, when I really sat down and thought about it, I realized I don't actually want something bad to happen to that person, because I don't know what something bad is. I don't know how bad it could be. And I honestly don't want something terrible to happen to them. I wanted life to be fair. I wanted the pain to go away. But in order for the pain to go away, I had to do the work. I know. We want them to ask for forgiveness. We want them to say, I'm sorry. But they may never say, I'm sorry. So then you have to forgive them so you can feel better. You understand? Forgiveness is a gift we give ourselves. So you have to forgive so that you can free yourself from the prison in your mind. There's a famous saying that goes like this. Not forgiving others, it's like slowly drinking poison and secretly hoping that the other person dies, right? Like you are in your mind struggling, suffering, being unhappy, probably thinking about revenge, hoping something bad happens to this person. And like I said, they're living their lives. You are in your own prison, serving a sentence for someone else's crime. Like I said before, this is the people who have hurt you are the people who are supposed to be feeling bad. But if they don't, then you forgive them so you can move on, so you can have peace. And you know what else? When you don't forgive, you know what else is happening? You feel it in your heart. You feel it in your head. You feel it in your body. It is such a heavy feeling. Those emotions are so strong. Anger, resentment. I have felt those, and they weigh so much. When you let go of the past, you open the door for the new to come in. Sometimes we have to remove certain things from our lives, from our heart, from our head, so that we can bring in the new. You have to make space for the new, and sometimes you have to throw out the old. Do you understand? So you're making space in your mind, in your heart, so you can find more love and more peace. And I promise you, it makes a big difference. So another thing about forgiveness, let me put it to you this way. I know some of you are thinking, okay, but what if I can't forgive the person? Or how should I go about it? First of all, you don't have to call the person and tell them, oh yeah, by the way, I forgive you for all the terrible things you have done to me. I'm pretty sure this is not going to go well. The other person may say, what? I didn't do anything to you. You should apologize. You don't even have to talk to the person. In fact, some of the things I've done in the past is I had a full-on conversation with that person as if I had them in front of me. And I told them, I forgive you, and I also forgive myself. I know I was young and I was a teenager and I probably made mistakes unknowingly, and I may have hurt you, and I'm sorry for that. And so I forgive myself and I forgive them, because self-forgiveness is actually the hardest to do. Forgiving others is difficult, but forgiving yourself for not knowing better, it's so much harder. The blame, we always treat ourselves way worse than we treat others. We are our worst critics. You understand? So in your journey towards forgiveness, and I'm saying it this way because I'm hoping you will really consider forgiving, letting go, so you can have peace. In your journey to forgiveness, remember, you're mostly doing it for yourself so you can have more peace and love and understanding in your heart. And going back to the topic, if the person, like I say, isn't willing to have a healthy conversation with you, or you're not comfortable, you can write them a letter too. So you can have the conversation as if the person was there. You can write them a letter that you never send, or an email that you never send, so you can let go. And like I said, in some cases, the person may not even be available. They may be dead. So you don't have the opportunity to have closure. And it's okay. You have to let go. I understand. So if you're not convinced of anything that I said today, let me give you more reasons to practice forgiveness. Another reason to practice forgiveness is because by practicing forgiveness, you learn to know what it feels like when other people forgive you. I always look at it this way, and I say this, if you've been following my journey, if you've been around me, if you've been watching me on social media, one thing that I always say is that I am a flawed individual. I have so many faults. I have so many things that I'm working on. I am a flawed individual. I have a lot of flaws. So I know that I'm going to make mistakes. I know that I'm going to be wrong, and I want people to forgive me. If I ever by mistake do something terrible, I want someone to be able to forgive me and let go. In order for me to receive that and to expect to receive that or hope to receive that, I have to know what it feels like when I do it to other people. That's another reason why forgiveness is important. And you know what else? Gandhi once said, the weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. Because people who are weak lack the strength to go deep and find and let go of the pain. It seems weird, right? Like to let go when someone has hurt you so much. But it takes a strong person to face pain head on, resentment, be able to let go and release. It takes away the heaviness on your heart. It creates more love. I am speaking to you from experience. And you know what else? Forgiving doesn't mean that you have to spend time with that person. You can forgive the person and still create boundaries and still not be around that person. Again, if you've been following me, I am a huge advocate of loving from afar. You can love from the distance. You can love people, send them love, and still not be close to them. I will share more benefit. If you're still not convinced, more benefit. Do you know that by forgiving, you can create healthier relationships? Like I said before, let go of the old so you can bring in the new. You're making space for new relationships, but you're making space for healthier relationships. You're going in there with love and not resentment and anger from the past. You know what else it does? It helps with your mental state of mind. It helps lessen depression, anxiety, hostility, stress. It helps lower blood pressure, and ultimately, it helps improve self-esteem. right? Your self-esteem, your self-worth, your self-value has a lot to do with not carrying pain and anger and things that no longer serve you. And I'll leave you with this. There's a quote by Oscar Wilde, and he says, always forgive your enemy because nothing annoys them more. So that's a bonus for you. I appreciate you being here with me today. If you want me to get in more depth about the topic of forgiveness, I'd be happy to do a part 2 of that. But one thing that I will be talking about is self-forgiveness. I want to be able to dive more into that topic. So if you are interested in that, please leave a comment below and I will be able to make a video about that. Head over to my website. The link is gonna appear somewhere here. I usually get this wrong. I'm pointing over here as it's over here. The link is gonna appear here and it's gonna be in the description below. Go to my website to describe your free copy of tips, things you can start doing to actually practice self-love. Please do so as soon as possible. I cannot guarantee that this is always gonna be free, and I definitely want you to take advantage of this while it's still free. Another thing you can do is follow me on Instagram, where I share a lot of mind hacks, self-love quotes, and just little tips and suggestion of the things you can do on a daily basis. Another thing, which is a great news, wonderful news actually, I should have said this at first. I am now offering I'm not offering classes. So head over to my Instagram or click the link below to schedule a free consultation with me, to schedule a time to talk or just vent. Or if you're ready to start your journey inside to fall madly in love with yourself, go ahead and reserve a spot with me and we can get into that. So don't forget, I am now offering classes and sessions, so check out my calendar and book your session. Or at the very least, let's get to know each other and see if we're a good fit. If you have found any of this helpful at all, please let me know. Send me a personal message, leave a comment below, give me a thumbs up if you loved this video, if you liked this video, or give me a thumbs down if you didn't like it. But I would sure love to hear your feedback. As always, take care of yourself, practice forgiveness, practice self-care. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. See you next time.